Today I fucked up by not hiding my sex bag. I had decided to reorganize my room some time ago and only made it about halfway through. My mom thought she would be nice and help clear out the clutter. Amongst my crap was the sex bag. What's a sex bag? I'm not sure if anyone else has been so clever, but I decided it would be easiest to have all the sex equipment my so and I use in one central location, or one plastic grocery bag. You know, condoms, lube, wet wipes, etc. I came home yesterday to find my room empty and sex bag relocated. She said nothing, but it was clear she had seen and moved it. We're kind of even because she recently bought a vibrator on the family Amazon Prime account and accidentally used my credit cards. There is now an unspoken agreement between us to not mention it. My so and best friend had a good laugh at my embarrassment. Just remember to hide your sex bags better. Too long didn't read. My mom found my sex bag, but I also know about her recent vibrator purchase, so we're even in the worst way. It's like a Cold War, you both have nukes. And nothing really to win. Upgrade your bag. Jesus. I'm imagining starting to do the sex and being like, hold up. And then slinging this plastic, tattered bag on top of the covers like a homeless person. That's actually exactly what it's like. Well, that was far more tame than I assumed. Condoms, lube and wet wipes. I was honestly expecting far kinkier things. I hid that stuff better. My best friend puts his drugs and anything else he doesn't want his parents to see inside a cheap vibrator he got from a store at the mall. He figures if they find it they'll be too repulsed to inspect it. Honestly, not the worst idea. I should put my vibrator in a bomb then. My mum once pulled a sheet out of my laundry basket to hang on the line and handed me a vibrator that had gone through the washing machine with the words, "I think that's yours." She's not bothered by such things. Much as I don't like to think of it, she must have had sex with my dad at least twice. When I was a young teen, I announced to a table full of strangers at some work/charity dinner or other that I knew my mum used contraception because I'd found it in her room, and she said loudly, "Well, you don't think I want another one of you, do you?" At that moment at least, I'm quite sure she didn't. You guys have a cool relationship. Today I fucked up by accidentally getting my dog super high and incurring a $2,000 vet bill before I figured out what happened. So, before I start, I want to acknowledge that I am a terrible person, and an irresponsible pet parent. I'm pretty much posting here because I expect Reddit to tear me to pieces and I think I deserve it. Everyone I tell this story to IRL just laughs frown. This didn't actually happen today, it happened on Friday. I was in my pool throwing balls for one of my dogs, while the other watched. He doesn't like the pool, only smelly ponds will do for swimming. His name is Leo, and he is a 1-year-old border collie. Bouncy and adorable and loving. He lays down by the side of the pool and I swim over to pet him. He stays lying down. This is not normal for Leo. He is an excitable dog. Every moment is playtime. If I twitch at 3 AM it's OMG playtime now. No, Leo, go back to sleep. So I start calling his name and acting excited. Stays lying down. Barely opens his eyes. I start to worry, so I get out and walk back to the house. He can barely walk. Stumbling and falling to the side. I start freaking out. I get him inside and he lies down on the floor and doesn't move. He's conscious, he hasn't collapsed, but all he'll do is open his eyes and look at me. He won't get up willingly. So obviously at this point I'm freaking the fuck out. Could be heat stroke, it was a warm day. But there were no signs of it, he had plenty of water and shade, and he wasn't vomiting at all. So I take him to my vet. They agree he's not right and want to admit him overnight. But they don't have staff there overnight and I'm worrying my brains out, so I take him to the emergency vet about 40 minutes away where they have 24-hour staff. I get him settled there, and then they call me and tell me they really can't work out what's wrong. All his tests are normal. Not dehydrated, liver and kidney function are fine. Heart rate's a bit slow but not terribly. But he won't wake up and if he's forced to walk he falls. So they say they're really worried about him, and they want me to take him to the specialists about an hour away. I inwardly cry, because my other dog has had a stay there before and it's expensive. But a pet parent's gotta do what a pet parent's gotta do. So off we go. We get to the specialist. It's about midnight by this point. I'm exhausted and tearful with worry. They admit him and send me home. Over the next few days, he has every test known to man. All normal. He has about 10 different neurological exams. Normal. He seems to be slowly improving day by day. On Monday they say I might as well take him home. He seems to be improving and they're waiting on some more tests results. Basically, there's nothing they can do right now that I can't do at home. Over and over again they've asked if he could have gotten access to any toxins. And over again I say no. Nothing. He's been with me all day. I can't think of anything he could have gotten into. Then on Monday it hit me. I had been cleaning out the outside freezer, and caught him with his head in the trash bag. I shooed him away and thought nothing of it. It was just old food with freezer burn. Nothing that could hurt him. Then I remember. I used to store edibles in that freezer. Strong edibles. My first batch before I figured out doses. One chocolate would knock me on my ass for a day. My usual dose was 1/4 a chocolate. He must have eaten one. The poor little fucker was high as a kite for 3 days. Happy to say it's been 5 days now and he's right as rain. Currently demanding I throw balls for him in spite of a 3-hour walk this morning. But, fuck. I feel fucking terrible. I poisoned my dog, frown, poor little dude. Too long didn't read, dog ate edible, was high for 3 days, vet bill was very expensive. Just had an emergency vet visit with our dog who acted the very same way as Leo. The vet tech right off the bat thought he had eaten some weed and was so convinced that she even convinced my partner also. Granted, I don't partake any of that, but when she left the room my partner started asking if I have any drugs in the house and it was okay if I did. Wish it was weed, but our little guy had a stroke. He's all good now, just with old age. However, I guess they have the same symptoms as being high as having stroke. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was terrified it was something like that, but he's only a year old, so it would have been super unlikely. As a child, I forgot my dog outside our door in the freezing snow for plus 30 minutes. When I rushed the door open, she was standing there shaking, icy and cold. Got her under a blanket and warmed her up in the bed, but 25 years later and I still feel like the worst asshole in the world, every time it comes to mind. You feel bad cause you think you know people, who this could never happen to, but remember that nobody is diligent all the time. I think this is gonna be my dog left in the snow moment. I cringe every time I look at him, I feel so bad. He must have been so confused. Feel your pain. Just paid a $2,000 vet bill for my cat who decided to sneak into my garage when our painters showed up. He hid in the engine compartment of my wife's car and then was taken on a 30-mile drive until he fell out in traffic and ran off. We found him 2 hours later with broken bones in his face and burns on his belly and feet. It was pretty bad and really messed my wife up. We're still dealing with the after effects. Like I told her, it happens with animals and it's no one's fault. Just have to deal with it, and get him well. And be a little more careful next time. Glad your dog is all good now. Yeah, sorry to disagree with you, but a bad pet parent would have fed the edible to their dog and laughed. You took it to multiple vets and spent decent dollar doing it. Accidents happen, and this happens actually quite a bit. While yesterday I fucked up, doesn't make you a bad dog dad. Edit. Turns out making you a bad dog dad would be even harder and require surgery. My apologies. Today I fucked up by not checking my shorts before putting them on. Background, my lady love, LL, and I live in a house built in the early 1900s with mostly original everything, including the sliding no screen having windows. We typically only crack the windows or put in temporary screens when fully open due to not wanting the cat to get out. Further, while sleeping I'm typically in the buff unless we have visitors over. Story time. Talk about an amazing weekend. The northwest weather has been treating us well lately. Saturday we went golfing, rode bikes to go eat and play some pinball, then basically enjoyed each other's presence for the remainder of the day. Sunday morning was starting off no different. Looking forward to a quick walk and talk over some caffeine, then commencing with our normal Costco run and likely some yard work, etc. Time to get up. After handling some normal morning routines, I head to the bedroom while LL finishes her routine in the bathroom. I try to respect the neighbors by putting on some clothes while walking around downstairs with the blinds open. The first thing I see are my Adidas basketball shorts from the early years. These things are over 15 years old and still going strong. Love M. I pick them up, put them on, then hop on the bed and decide to take a tour of Reddit. Here we go. Not 10 seconds later I feel that initial sensation you get when an itch creeps up, but on the base of the head of my dick. This all feels like slow motion. I reach down to itch it, and from the time I start moving my hands to the time I reached my dick, the feeling went from itch to fire. So instead of itching, I pulled my dick out to observe for any visual signs of concern. I didn't really see anything. The pain is increasing. At this point I throw my shorts off, and as soon they hit the ground I hear bzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzz I think a bee or wasp stung my dick. LL, WTH, do you mean a bee or wasp stung your dick? I pointed at the buzzing shorts. After regaining a bit of my composure, I hammer-fisted the shorts and confirmed that yes, in fact a wasp was in my shorts and stung my dick. Let me say one thing, I consider myself a fairly intelligent person, but LL outdoes me here and in many other areas. It's one of the main reasons I adore this lady. Either way, aside from being a smarty pants, LL doesn't handle high-stress situations very well. At this point my eyes are bugged out and she can tell I'm a bit concerned about my dick. She grabs her phone and Googles wasp sting dick. Really? Anyways, she ends up finding stories about other people's dicks getting stung and is laughing. She's lost goddamn sight of the mission. Me, vape? Maybe just look up wasp sting treatment. LL, oh yeah, sorry. Wasp treatment, clean with soap, treat with vinegar for 15 minutes, and then ice. Cleaning with soap, check. LL brings me a glass of white wine vinegar. LL, to soak your dick. I have to walk into the office and close the door because I'm so damn embarrassed that I'm soaking my dick in a good drinking cup full of vinegar. 15 minutes pass and I go shower. Pain is all but gone and there is no swelling. As I sit here typing this up, I can still smell the vinegar on my finger and can only imagine how bad my dick smells. This little bastard isn't going to ruin my day. I have his corpse in a sandwich baggie and he will be going with us to Costco and our other adventures. This is just in case my dick swells to the size of a grapefruit or something. Well, thanks for listening and don't forget to check your shorts. Too long didn't read, put my shorts on without checking and got my dick stung by a wasp. Had to go back and reread some sentences because I was unsure whether little bastard referred to the wasp or ops vinegar dick. Nice. Well, if it does swell, you can tell the missus you're gonna give her a good sting. So she was actually able to see it this time. I guarantee somebody out there with a wasp fetish envies you so hard right now. Delete this.